And let me say real quick, if you are in the overflow room, I know there's a little bit of delay, so if we call your name and you're not here right away, if you'll come in and come over towards our area, we'll get you after the next speaker. Jill Humphrey. Is Jill Humphrey here? Okay, we'll invite Miss Humphrey up, and after her will be Madison Bradshaw.
My name is Jill Humphrey, and I do live in the city limits. I know that Madison is speaking after me, and really the reason I came today was because of Madison. I've never met Madison before, but I did read some of her comments that she made regarding Amarillo Animal Management and Welfare. I've come before you all before. This isn't the first time that I've spoken to you all with my concerns about AMW. A few months ago, I came to you and I showed you an animal cruelty case that had taken place at Animal Management. I brought you before and after pictures of a dog named Royal who was pregnant at the time and was also deemed dangerous with a very little investigation into the incident, I might add. Royal had nearly been starved to death, as you could see by the pictures that I shared, and I still have those pictures if anyone needs to see those. Not only did I bring you pictures, but I also brought you a statement from a referring veterinarian who also did the surgery on Royal, who did her spay surgery. She saw Royal before and after Royal's stay at the pound. So I provided you with a letter from a veterinarian backing up the claim that this dog was nearly starved to death. And I also provided clinic comments from the clinic director showing what I believe to be proof of incompetence by the city leadership or by the animal welfare management leadership. As I've stated before, when this person was hired, they came with little to no experience. They got experience under an interim director for a little bit of time. Anyway, you know about Royal because I shared that with you. The next time I spoke to you, I gave you the horrific kill rates at our pound. I gave you the data that I pulled off the internet from the city site, that they had become increasingly worse under this director. I don't remember a time where we have a 50% kill rate at our shelter. And to call it a shelter is just irony at its finest. This has probably been one of the worst directors that the city has hired. I only came here today to reiterate these comments that I've made to you before because I saw comments from a person inside the shelter that was making the same claims that I'm making as a citizen. This is really for the city manager because I know that you all are devoting a lot of your own personal, private, volunteer time, and I know you don't really get paid for what you're doing. I want to speak to the city manager very quickly and say that the last person who had your job, Mr. Miller, he attempted to make me out to be a lunatic. I hope that you will not do the same.
Next will be Madison Bradshaw. And after Madison will be Jesse Fremer.
My name is Madison Bradshaw, and I do live in city limits. For those that don't know me, I was the rescue and adoptions manager at the city pound, choosing to call it a pound because it is not a shelter. I accepted this position because I have a background and a passion for animal rescue. I was brought in as a rescue specialist, and in the first 4 months of employment, I was promoted twice as manager, one for rescue and one for adoptions. In both my departments, I built up both programs from scratch, and my numbers are higher than they were a year ago. I started a barn cat program that is over a 50% success rate than it was last year, giving the citizens an outlet to the overpopulation of feral cats in their neighborhoods. Throughout my time there, I had reported numerous acts of abuse by staff that was completely disregarded by, I don't know if I can mention her name, or Victoria Medley. The system is broken, and it starts with having Victoria as the director in charge. I reported on 4 different occasions of her misconduct, her abuse of power regarding policy changes and falsified documentation. She would falsify reasons for euthanasia for what they weren't really. She put down on paper that this animal was being euthanized for this reason, when everybody in the room knew that wasn't true. You couldn't say anything to her without forms of retaliation. I made a decision that effectively cost me my job on Friday. I was wrongfully terminated due to the hands of HR and the city manager. I was told that this would be investigated and to stay home. Their words were to stay out of the crossfire while they investigated. The city chose to protect Victoria Medley for whatever reason, I'm not sure. I'm here on behalf of every single animal that is still in that shelter right now. With her in charge, they're all in danger. She has no empathy or compassion for living beings. This is displayed on a daily basis. She's the first to tell you that she has no experience working with animals, yet she's in charge of thousands of them. She made a decision when we had the flood to euthanize every cat that came in from a certain area. There was 2 black bags full of cat collars. Not only did these people lose their homes, but their animals are gone. We have a 3-day stray hold, which was waived per her order, and I couldn't go against my morals or beliefs, so I said something. In return, I was retaliated for 3 weeks. She made my life a living nightmare at work. She kept me from my duties. She overloaded my work responsibilities with unrealistic deadlines. And the Whistleblower Act is meant to protect employees who make good faith reports, and my rights were violated, and the Department of HR and City Manager allowed it.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Bradshaw, for your comments.